Hey guys, Matt from the Weekend Handyman here, filming an update on the Giant Rain project. This will be update number 4. I've done quite a bit of work to the bike since I last updated. I've been really busy with work and just recently started riding with it in the past few weeks. Got a trip into Berkshire East Thunder Mountain Bike Park. Hopefully we'll be going soon again. Did a lot of local riding on some trails and everything, and some new parts on it, and I've had a few issues that I'm going to talk through real quick with it too. First of all, main thing you might notice is bike looks a tiny bit slacker in the head angle. It's because it is, and I got a new fork. I know I mentioned that I wasn't really planning on getting a new suspension anytime soon this season, but I did keep an eye on eBay for bits and pieces of suspension kit. And it turns out finding a long travel fork for this bike was harder than I thought it would be. It has a 1 1/8 inch head tube on there, and luck would have it, it's actually quite difficult to find a fork over 160 mils of travel with a 1 1/8 inch steer tube. Generally when I was looking, I was finding dual crown 200 mil downhill forks, not what I was looking for. I was hoping to find maybe a totem or something, but I didn't see any come up. But I found this Lyric. It's on there right now. It's a 2010 Lyric. It goes either 170 or 260 mils of travel. Did I say? Yeah, 160. When I got it, it was at 160. I recently just bumped it up to 170 and haven't rode it on 170. There was a spacer on the coil side that I took out. I did a rebuild on it. I did new seals on the fork, new oil in the leg. Took it apart, did all that. So it's an air fork, has rebound, has low and high speed compression. If you guys that don't know what low and high speed compression does, basically your high speed compression is for when you hit bumps, things like that, and your low speed is for when you're going around a corner or coming up to a jump, how the suspension compresses. So I got that. Also, to match the air fork up front, I'm running an air shock in the rear now. It's a RockShox Monarch. I believe it's a 2014 Monarch. It's also used. When I got it, the air can was leaking air, and it ended up being the O-ring in the can. So I got one of those at actually Ace Hardware, and it's holding air now. It's upside down for a reason. I'm not really too keen on it being upside down. It looks a little bit funky. But the reason why it is upside down is it doesn't clear when it's right side up. It is an air shock, so there's an air valve there. And it actually sticks out of the shock body quite a bit. And coincidentally, when I put it in, took it for a quick test ride, I decapitated that air valve, and yeah, so all the air came out of the shock. Luckily, it is replaceable, it just unscrews. So I did that. So I went air because of mainly the adjustability of it. I'm a fairly light rider, and with a coil fork and coil shock, it's kind of hard to get in the right area of sag that I want and the feeling of the shock. So I went air. Also, going air saves a decent amount of weight. I know with rear shocks you can get TI springs, but even then, going with an air can fork saves air can rear shock definitely saves some weight there. So one of the other things I also got that I talked about wanting was a dropper seat post. This is a RockShox Reverb. I ran the cable up and around the frame. It's a right-handed trigger there, but it's mounted on the left side of the bar under the bar. I don't know why RockShox designed this to be mounted over the bar, maybe in case you have a shifter, but most people are running 1-bys now. Even though this is a 9-speed, it's a 1-by even. So I'd much rather have it mounted under the bar. So I was lucky to find one with a right-hand shifter, and it's mounted under the bar. Also got new grips. The grips I had on there, I didn't find very grippy. These are ODI Troy Lee Designs models. I wear one of their helmets, so I just figured I'd match it. Nice and sticky, and the end cap actually is secured via the clamp, so no lost end caps. And I'm going tubeless. I have the components to do it, so I'll be doing that soon. So some of the other issues I've had with the bike is rear wheel popped a spoke the other day when I was riding down my driveway. I don't remember exactly where it was, but I'm going to be taking care of that this afternoon. You can see the nipple there. It's not really safe to ride on a wheel with a missing spoke. Yeah, there's a lot here. You get back to the trailhead. But if one popped, there might be another one that's ready to pop. So I'm going to replace this one, go through both wheels, and tighten all the spokes and get it trued up nice this afternoon. And then I'm going to do the tubeless conversion, which will allow me to run lower pressures and get a bit more grip out of the bike. Another thing you might notice is there's different pedals on it. The pedals that came on the bike, I noted that the pins were pretty beat up and everything in the first video, but as it turns out, after some riding, the bearings went completely and the pedals were just kind of flopping on the shaft there. So those pedals, from what I could tell, are rebuildable, but they were in just such bad shape. I figured I'd get some new ones, so I went with DMRs. I like the general look of the DMR pedals, and they're within my price range. These are the V12s. The Vaults are a little bit supposedly better, but really couldn't tell much the difference between the V12s and the Vaults. Maybe the older V12s weren't as good. These are like $50. These are aluminum. You can get them in magnesium. You'll save a little bit more weight, but these pedals as is are a boatload lighter than the pedals that were on it already. Other than that, nothing else has changed on the bike. I'm really enjoying it. The way it rides, it soaks up everything in its path. It jumps fairly well, corners very well, and it climbs all right, not too bad for me. I haven't been out with the air rear shock or the slackened up front end there, so it'll be interesting to get out on that. Pretty excited for it. Overall, everything's been working out with it. Just like I said, had a few issues with the thing. Nothing too crazy though. So other than that, if I'm gonna have any other issues with it, it's probably gonna be with the rear derailleur. And like I said, I still can't get it adjusted right. But really, that's something that I'm not even gonna worry about until this winter for real. Unlike with the suspension. Chain guide's been working out well. I had it set a little bit high. I didn't realize there were markings for it up here for the teeth. So I did lose a chain once or twice when my gearing got all whacked up back here. But since I've adjusted, I really haven't lost any chains. Yeah, that's about it. With the shortened up stem too, it's been really good. Handles really well. I think I got it pretty much dialed in for the way I want it. See how it goes when I go tubeless, get everything else taken care of on it, like the spokes and such. But hey, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. That's about it. Let's do a quick walk around for you, see the other side.